so many things, so many circumstances surrounding it that I don't want to go there for personal reasons and for the sake of the family. And I don't want to go there, but so many things that just make it regrettable. That how I wish he listened, how I wish he did not do this, how I wish I could have done, how I wish I could have stopped him, how I wish I was there, how I wish that day I met him when he was going. So many how I wish, but I was not there, and there was nothing I could do. I could not stop him from doing what he wanted to do, and I'm glad that he did what he wanted to do, and he lived his best life. My name is Afouda Sama, and here is my story of loss. It all happened in the year 2020, a day before the End SARS protests. It's a day I will never forget in my life. I have someone who was, and is still very dear to me. Now, let me quickly give you a background to how we met and why that particular loss is something else for me. We met I was a radio presenter. I am still a radio presenter, but then he was a fan, a big radio fan. And we met through a mutual friend who was also a colleague, Tunde Adedokun, Akondios. And it was during Ileya Festival, because I remember that I was in the studio that day, and Tunde Adedokun just came and said, somebody's outside. One of our listeners is outside. He wants to meet you. His name is Azeez Maboreje. Azeez Maboreje is out. He wants to meet you. And that day I met him, and he gave me a lot of eronleya, fried meat. And that was how we met. We exchanged contacts, and ever since then I just realized that this particular man shows interest in me, and he shows interest in everything that I do. He is such a dependable, reliable friend that I'm not sure I've ever had anybody like that before him and even after him. Let me give you instances of his reliability. In a particular month, it was the month of August, a particular year, my house was boggled in the middle of the night. I was sleeping. I just saw that flashlight. Who be that? Before I say Jack Robinson, the guy don't take off. I woke up. I followed the guy. He ran away. But while he was running, he stole my laptop. They've already entered the sitting room. They've already boggled the living room before they now entered the room where we were sleeping, myself and my brother that year. And I was just so disturbed because I had an event the following day, and I had to travel. Then I used to run stuff with NCC. We had to travel, I think, to Ekiti the following day, and I was just disturbed. I called him that midnight. By 5:30 a.m., before 6, Maboreje came to my house with Operation Bust to come and search the neighborhood, comb everywhere, just trying to see maybe those guys are still somewhere hidden in the neighborhood, but we could not find them. I left that day. I left him in my house with my brothers, and my brother told me when I came, my brother said, that man. He said because he took us to the police station. From the police station, they came back home to come and take pictures of where they broke through and all those stuff like that. That is just one of those instances. On several other occasions, he has been there. When I bought my first car, I had 300k. Bro, I got the 300k for my book launch. I just did my book launch in October, and I wanted to get married in November, and I wanted to get a car before getting married. So I took the 300k, said I was looking for a car. I got the car for 500. My brother just said, let's pick this one. And he borrowed me 200k. He said, return it when you can. And eventually, when I was ready, he said, return 150. I dashed you for 50k is part of my contribution. When I wanted to get my office, my first office, was part of the people that contributed financially. When I wanted to get one of my phones that I'm still using till date in 2019, we went there together to get Easy Buy. He said, forget it. And the reason why he's a very generous person, not just to me, but to everyone around him. And he respects my opinion so much because he's a man that is not very lettered, but he understands the world better, he's confident, he's bold, and sometimes I just get to think, I think he has a premonition that he is not going to stay here for too long because he's always moving at the speed of light. And at some point I will see his call, I will not pick his call because my brother can worry. Nah, he can't worry. He's that kind of person that comes up with an idea, calls you up now, and the moment he's getting to you, say, can we move now? I remember one of his projects like that. Thank God he did not listen to me. I tried to discourage him. We were just starting Farmers Market. Farmers Market was a show on radio. We designed the show together. Myself and Maboreje, we designed the show together, and we were anchoring it together. He was like my guest while I was the host, but we were anchoring the show together. And we did that till he died. We actually did that till he died. So after that, from the show came a project called Ojagbe, Farmers Market. Farmers Market is the name of the show. So he said we can have something like a cooperative farmers market, blah blah blah. And he just said, and I have an idea. We can do a farmers debate for gubernatorial candidates. Bring gubernatorial. I'm talking of maybe that was around election should be in February or March. That was around maybe September or October. And he just said it will make sense. So we just invite all the farmers from all over the state. We invite all the all the aspirants, the gubernatorial candidates of different parties, that they should come and talk to farmers. I said it's a very laudable idea, but not for this election. That is the first that should be 2019 election. I said not for this election. I said, see, let's shift it to 2023. That time the project would have expanded, would have gained ground. We would have said, he said, no, I want us to do it. I said, it is too late. He said, no, it's not too late. And I had a code fit initially. Before I knew it, he said I should help him design the letterhead. We did the letterhead before I knew it. He said, I've talked to this party, I've talked to this party, I've talked to this party, I've talked to the Baliagbe council. I said, where do you get this energy? Where do you get this? These things has not been done before. I've never heard of it before. And it's just allow it to grow. He did not, as if he knew he won't see the next election. I'm glad that he did not listen to me, because if he had listened to me and did not do that particular what's it called, it would have been a painful thing. And that was how he went all out. And we thank God, like five gubernatorial candidates came. Seyi Makinde was one of them, and Seyi Makinde eventually won. And that led to a whole lot of things that I would not even want to say in this video. That led to, he served all through his life, and I was part of and parcel of his story. People believe that he's a millionaire. In fact, he's a millionaire in asset and in goodwill. In fact, a multi-millionaire in asset and in goodwill. But in terms of liquidity, he no get anything, because there is nothing he has that he cannot give out. Many people used to envy me that time when they see us work together, some of my colleagues, because they know that he's always giving. They believe he gives me everything at all times. Yes, he gives me, but I make sure that he gives me when it matters. He gives me when it matters, and he's somebody that is dependable and reliable. Somebody that will go all out for you when you are in difficulties. So Maboreje, he was a very wonderful friend to me. We are from different backgrounds, different exposure, different orientation. There are some issues that we don't even agree at all, but we're able to manage it. He was my co-host of Ojagbe on 32 FM. So it happened that we had a show on a Saturday morning, 11 a.m. Before then, 2 weeks before then, their chief imam in their neighborhood had died mysteriously. And he was just telling me that, wow, this life is a mystery. This man, we still pray together. He just died. I think something, and it was an accident. And we're just like, wow. So we've been talking about death extensively for like a week or two before that day. So we just finished our show as usual. And like I said, NSAS protest was on. On that Saturday, we departed ways immediately after the show. I came to my office here in Oluyole. He went his own way. I was buying something in front of my office. There's a shop in front of my office. The moment I turned back, I just saw his car drove by. I said, and that time he has never entered my new office. I was like, see this guy, you. Maybe I will come up already and make you come to my office, make it just stop. But don't worry, I will track him down. We will know this place. And that was what I had in mind. And I never knew that would be the last time I would ever see him alive. Like I said, that was on a Saturday. So on the Sunday that followed, my wife was pregnant, heavily pregnant, and I don't like disturbing her when she's in that state. So I left the bed for her. I was sleeping on the floor in the room. My phone just rang around, that should be around 12. it was Adebayo Faleke. Oga Bayo Faleke of Fresh FM is a mutual friend of myself and Maboreje. So he just called me, just said, Afouda, báwo ni? Nìkan, when Maboreje l'accident too, I was sleeping already. You see my eye clear. I know he's a risk taker. In fact, he had close shave with death several times. Accidents. He's a fantastic person. He's the man that I've never seen somebody like him before. He's carefree. He does not take. Maboreje will be on the express. He's going to Lagos, and he will drive his car, park by the roadside, leave the key in the ignition, just close the door, not lock it. Like I said, the key is in the ignition, and we travel to Lagos, and he will come back and he will pick the car. There was a particular day he came late for our show. We used to have Ojagwe at night back then, and he just came that he said, I abandoned my car. He said there was heavy traffic at Iwo Road. So immediately after I said, let's take a bike to Iwo Road together to go and pick my car, then I will drop you at home. And then we got to Iwo Road, somewhere opposite Teju Hospital, or was the car was just there. He just opened the door. He did not lock it. He did not remove the key from the ignition. Said, me. He believes so much in destiny. He said, Afouda, he told me of a day he already lodged at a hotel in Osogbo around 12 a.m. He just woke up and said he's coming to Ibadan. He said he was face to face driving with a trailer like this. He just entered into the bush. Like I said, that was one of the things I held on to, because he was always telling me, Afouda, nobody can kill me before my time. I cannot die before my time. So when he eventually died, I had to console myself that truly it was his time. So on that day, Bayo Faleke called, said Maboreje had accidents. I said ibo not l'accident. Only àwọn ọlọ́pàá ló pè mí. Pé ó ní wọ́n ṣe pè mí, àwọn kan ló pè mí sìn pé l'accident. Pé but mi tí mọ̀ ibi tó wà bí tí ó ṣe nìkan. That should not be around 12. Maybe that should be around 3. Around 2 or 3 or something. He said, okay, so don't worry. Let me call them back to get more information. I will call you. And like I said, I was sleepy. It was cloud windy or Jovero. So while I woke, I sat, I don't know who to call. I slept off. The next time it was around 4:30 or thereabout. My phone rang again. I quickly woke up. I picked the call, and then I had the most devastating news I've ever had in my life to date. Say, Afouda, Maboreje ti kú. Up till date, I've never had that kind of news in my life. I was shaking, literally shaking, because I just could not believe it. Maboreje ta just program láàárọ̀ àná. Tí a sọ pé ó di what how? Where are you? Start coming now. I'm coming to pick you. The moment he said that, the rain started, heavy rain. I had to wake my wife up. I was sobbing, I was crying. She has never seen me in that state, and after that, she has never seen me, and I don't pray she ever see me like that again. I woke up, I quickly put on clothes, I was like, what? But to Georgian Raw, I did not even hear her. I could not even listen to her. I just stepped out in the rain. And he said they were coming to my junction. My house is quite far from the junction, from my house. So I was running to the junction in the rain, and I was wailing. I was not shedding tears. I was wailing. Me, as in nobody on the streets, empty streets, serious rain, me alone. And sincerely, I was running to the junction, and I was wailing. When I got to the junction, I had to wait for a few seconds before he came. They were driving a SUV, himself and one elderly man I was meeting for the first time, Baba Akiosho. Baba Akiosho was the one that owns the car, but he was too shaking to drive. Because I was the youngest, all of us were shaking. Because I was the youngest, they asked me to drive. I had to take the wheels. I was driving and I was crying. We were already towards Molete when they told us to go back, that they will not read, that we should come to the police station, but we must come with a family member so that they can release the body to us. So we had to start calling. We called Mashoud, his junior brother, and then he said we could not tell him what happened on phone. Just tell him that where is he, that his brother had accident. He should start coming to Elebu. So drove. They were just directing me because it was, like I said, it was raining. I was crying. All of us were. I drove from that new garage, that Orita, to Tasca, then inside Elebu, that ICAST area, to go and pick. The moment he saw us, oh God, it was another thing entirely. We did not need to tell him. The moment he saw us like this, oh God, he said, "I've got this shame. Nobody could explain. Nobody could." So we just had to. He tried to encourage him. He entered the car. I had to still drive to testing ground. We drove to testing ground at Iwo Road, and then from there they asked us to wait. They said we should. They showed us the Micra driver that saw the car. So apparently he was driving. He's parked the car somewhere around that Idiakbe junction, very close to Food Co. There he was driving, and he died in the car. So the ignition was on, the headlamp was on, everything was on. It was a Micra driver that saw him in that midnight, that now went to call the police, inform the police. Before they came back, the battery had run down, and then they opened the car, and I saw him like this. He could not say anything. He could not see me. He could not talk. It's an experience. I've never had something close before then until now. By God's grace, I've never lost anyone so close to me like that. Anyone that I had a personal contact with, I could not move closer. Not because I could not just move closer, because I could not believe it. I was driving, like I said, I had to drive, but I don't know what I was doing. And we had to drive the body, drive it from there. Like I said, the car, they had to jumpstart the car for them to move the car. We could not pass the main road because everywhere was blocked because of the SARS protest. They had to take through different routes to take the body. One of the moments I can't still forget on that day was when we got to the Poultry Association markets, because we had to drive through. They have to get some people, and we had to start hiding the car because his body was in the car, and you need to see everybody because he was one of the executives of that market. Everybody was trooping out to come and see, and the sight breaks me till today. And then my phone was ringing. Oh God, my phone was ringing. Different people that knew us together, that have heard the story. Maboreje was a friend of the media. He would just call anybody's program and say, "I like what that person is doing. Can we support your program? Okay, go and give them 30 crates of egg so that they can share on their show." He was just generous. Like I said, not that he had. That is why many people find it hard to believe when he died that this guy does not have properties like because his name was loud, because he was everywhere, just because of the kind of art he had. Then we moved from there. Before we got home, then he had an 8-month-old baby. Getting to the house, getting to the neighborhood, it was just, it's just like series of grief, because the moment after wailing, now you calm down. When you get to another place, something else will happen, and then from there now, after the whole day, we had the third day, we had the day 3 after we had the 3 days, whatever. I was there. I was meant to talk. I had to break down again because there was nothing I wanted to say. And then I got on air. That one was, I will try and get, if I can get the video of that. I got on air the following day. I broke every breakable ethics of profession or whatever. I could not contain myself. I cried my house out live on the show, because all these ones be professional. Even when something happened, you don't cry. I tried to do it. It did not work for me. I cried all through that show. I wouldn't know if anybody listened, but anybody that listened, we know that something terrible happened to this guy. I cried all through that day, and it was traumatic for me. Why? Because I had moved to Orita. Before I moved to Orita in 2016, I was staying at Agbowo. Maboreje had been staying in Orita all the while. So almost everywhere I knew around Orita was in his company. I was always in his car, taking me to different places, meeting different people. So months after he died, running to a year, if I still pass through his shop, pass through every corner where I pass through, I keep seeing him. When I say I keep seeing him, because we have been there together, we have memories from this place, from this place, from this place, from that place to that place. He was a strong man. He's a man that is irreplaceable. He's a man that sometimes I look back at myself and everything I'm doing, and I feel like, how I wish Maboreje is not dead. Maybe I would not be even doing. Maybe I would not even be doing this now. Maybe I would have ventured into something else. Maybe because he's not the man that was not just moving on his own. He was pushing me as well. There are so many things I would never do in my life that I had to do because of Maboreje. So many meetings I attended that ordinarily I have no business attending it, and I would have never attended such, but because of him. So sometimes, up till now, I still wonder how I wish he's not dead. How I wish he's not died. But the man died. And so many things happened with the government, with people, with farmers, with Afan. So many things, circumstances surrounding it that I don't want to go there for personal reasons and for the sake of the family, and I don't want to go there. But so many things that just make it regrettable. That how I wish he listened. How I wish he did not do this. How I wish I could have thought. How I wish I could have stopped him. How I wish I was there. How I wish that day I met him when he was going. So many how I wish. But I was not there. And there was nothing I could do. I could not stop him from doing what he wanted to do. And I'm glad that he did what he wanted to do. And he lived his best life. Today we still remember him. Up to date I still miss him. There are still so many things that I would do in my life, and I just feel like how I wish has never ended. I'm not sure it will end anytime soon. And even though it's a long time, like I said, it happened 19th of October 2020. Here is been 2025, and this is the first time I'm recounting this full story like this. And there's no time I say anything about it that I don't get to shed tears all again, because it's a pain, it's a loss that will never go away. My name is Afouda, and that is my own story of loss. Thank you. Oh man.